Hello and welcome to another tech article quick tip. I saw a question in the Fluent Forums Facebook group today, and it was about a health questionnaire. And actually, I'll see if I can bring up the image, and because that would be useful. So this was the item that was brought up in the Facebook group, and it was about how you could use Fluent Forms to make something like this. And one of the suggestions was via parameters, which would work in some way, but what it can't do is work out the categorization. Was one of the questions. How much could you categorize the questions, i.e., around BMI, about well-being, your activity levels, your diet, etc. I think how I would approach that, and it's just one of probably several ways it could be done, would actually be to use calculated fields. And what I've done here is I've simulated some age-related rubbish questions and health questions. And I've split them into three categories: health, exercise, eating, and I put a calculation field here on my form to do that. So I'm going to preview that form here, and you can select. And if you look, depending on what my options are, I I get a different value, and this would then equate to one of these color codes. Um, then I can add in some exercise, and maybe I don't know what a vegetable is. Let's say I eat my five a day, so it's -5 in my eating. Now these are just random examples of that I've assigned stupid values to for no real reason, really, just to show that this works. But the way I see this working is I would hide these, and actually I'll do that now because I've already created a little snippet to hide them, so you don't have to see the little fields. So let's just hide these using this snippet. And then they wouldn't appear on the form, on the preview form, like so. They wouldn't appear anymore in the form, but they're still calculated behind the scenes. So if I was to select these random issues, um, like so, and then if I submit my form, now I've got nothing in this form and I haven't done this, but if I go to entries, you'll now see when I go to my form and view the entries, they're there, and so are the calcs. Now, what I would do with this to create a dynamic form like this, I would probably use something like Flowmatic to assign them to custom fields, maybe, or to dynamic variables, and then I would probably use URL parameters to fill in my data based on our calculated fields that we submitted, and that could probably get you what you want to do. There's lots of ways to do this, actually. I mean, you could feed that data via your automation program. As I said, I would use Flowmatic for this, but your automation program, you could do that. You could put it into a PHP function and then generate these in the user area, for example. You could send an email. There's lots of ways you could do it, but to do it dynamically, I would probably send it to a hook and then get it to process that through your Flowmatic workflow, and then I'd send them up to a page after that via the webhook. Probably need a little bit of custom PHP, but it could work. So I just wanted to show a way that I would categorize them and how I would then do not only categorize them but calculate them. And you can see that the questions don't matter as long as they've got a calculated value. It doesn't matter. So I choose what's in each of these categories, but via the way it's set up. So if I go back to the form editor, I choose what falls into every category. So if I wanted in my calculated field to include, I don't know, one of the health questions, let's say the age-related questions in whatever this one is. Let's have a look. It's exercise. If I wanted to do that, save my form, and then refresh my form, I can't see it now, but if I add this, we can go back. In fact, I'll add both of these. And then we'll look at the integrations, the entries. And the second entry, when it loads, will show you that my new calculation now includes that data. So you could do whatever you like with it in terms of that way. So you can't physically categorize them in other than maybe putting in headings and stuff within your form, but you can categorize them within calculations and pull them into groups for um, to produce this sort of item. The next thing to do will be decide how you want to generate this data. As I say, I think I would pass it into an automation program like Flowmatic, and then I would produce variables that can be pulled into this and color them based on greater than, equal than. So a bit of PHP, but there's probably other ways you could do it as well. Hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching.